Right. Good morning, Craig. How are you today?
Morning, Maya. I'm fine, thank you. It's a nice day again outside, so just kind of sitting, looking out the window, and enjoying that view.
It is lovely. It is. It's been. We're having great weather, aren't we? And
Yeah,
thank you so much for agreeing to be part of this interview process that I'm doing as a series with a group of people over a couple of weeks, looking at how the experience of lockdown and the regulations around COVID-19 have affected their personal life,
yeah,
family life, work lives, but also the benefits that it's brought into their lives. And one of the reasons that I'm doing this, Craig, for people that haven't watched the videos, is because of my own experience, which at the start was quite mentally and emotionally challenging.
yeah,
But in that, it also opened up the space for me to unlock these blocks that were preventing me from moving forward. So it really helped in that way.
right. Yeah,
But in that process, I also realized that there's hundreds of people in this, that have been in this utter chaos and this confusion, and it's under this kind of feeling of pressure to do something, not knowing what to do, and also worried about going back to work, not knowing if
yeah,
they want to go back to work, and also what the future looks like, what life is going to look like, all
yeah.
these things.
We've been through so much. We've been through so much, and we've still kind of got these unknowns still to kind of come and tackle. Like you say,
I
what the future's going
know.
to look like, going back to the office, that sort of thing. So
Yeah, absolutely, Craig. And but there's also the people who have had the most amazing benefits from this situation. It's like opened up areas of opportunity for personal development that they might not ordinarily have been able to do had it not been
yeah,
for the situation. So now, Craig, I met you through the business networking route that there is in Aberdeen, and you have a really creative business. You do digital, it's branding and web design and lots of other creative things
yeah.
that go with that. Um, it's quite an extraordinary kind of business that you've got, and I wondered if I could invite you to maybe share with us how this experience has impacted on your work life. What's it brought?
Well, thanks, Mia. Thanks for the opportunity for me to kind of share my story. It's one of billions across the world of how people have kind of had to deal with this situation. So I'm not the business owner, but I'm part of designing codes. I can only kind of speak from my point of view. But yeah, so how it's kind of affected. Is that the question? Is how it's affected?
Yeah, how has it affected your work life? What have you seen? Has it changed anything in your work life?
Yeah.
Has it
So
brought things into your work life?
so as you said, we met at a networking event. So a big part of my job has been an ambassador for Designing Code, is to kind of be out and about, going to networking events, exhibitions, meeting people face to face, kind of building those relationships. So obviously, initially when the kind of pandemic hit at the beginning of the year, those opportunities kind of slowed down a little bit. People were still trying to figure out, what the situation was and what the government was going to do. So initially, even the kind of opportunities slowed down, and then once kind of lockdown came in, that just kind of cut off the ability to kind of do that altogether, to kind of meet people, and all the kind of networking events stopped, and big gatherings, exhibitions. And I guess part of my way of reaching out to people was through kind of social media platforms like LinkedIn. But personally, I didn't find that as a successful route. So it definitely impacted my ability to do my job quite a bit. And I've kind of had to figure out different ways to kind of do things. And, as times went on, we've kind of all figured out how to kind of adapt to the lockdown and social distance, and how we can still continue. But there was that kind of period where you know, it was a little bit of anxiety and stress, just try to, you know, figure out what we were going to do. And I think a part of what we did and I did was just kind of change my role a little bit to more initially just looking out for the information that was being put out, useful information that could help us as a business, and also help others. We could kind of share that information without, you know, the social distancing rules that were being announced, or, you know, the different types of support and funding that was coming out. So just kind of keeping on top of that, and then finding ways to share that, obviously with our current clients, but just, you know, even more broadly, just try to get that information out there. So that helped a bit, being able to kind of just change the role a little bit to focus on something that would help and was achievable.
Yeah, so it sounds like most of us, it was really it knocked the status quo to start off with, didn't it? It really kind of it put us in a situation where, oh gosh, what do we do? Because we get so used to doing work in a certain way, don't we? And then it kind of it's just, there's this barrier, you can't get in. You go, what do I do? How do I, you know? And it really does make you think, what do I need to do to reach out to people and to get them to reach back to me, you know? So I think everybody's kind of been in this situation where we've had to, and I like what you said there. It was like helping people. So sticking with your clients, but helping them in a way, in another way, to make them feel okay about the situation.
Yeah.
You know, would that be right, Craig?
Yeah, it was just to kind of reassure them that they weren't alone. You know, we were still there. We were going through similar things, so that, you know, even if they just wanted to kind of chat, just so we can kind of talk through the situation and kind of maybe relate, and just have that kind of shared thing where we're going through the same sort of challenges. So it's just kind of reaching out on a more kind of human level rather than the kind of business aspect to it. Which was one of the great things that kind of came out initially at the beginning of the kind of lockdown, was that kind of more kind of community spirit and people looking for ways to kind of help out with just their kind of normal business that they do.
Yeah, so in that, I know what you mean, and in that, have you found, so has it opened up another, talking about you and your team, so has it opened up any other avenues for you to introduce different things into your work, or has it changed up the work in any way?
I think it's just made us have to think, you know, sometimes we're just listening to what our customers' problems are, and try to find solutions to that. But it turned out that we were sometimes having to like give them suggestions on what they could do and things that they could do, because it was a new situation for everyone. It was, you know, a lot of people weren't really online, and, you know, it's kind of important that they did that, especially for clients that were, you know, selling products, or, you know, things just from their, you know, their house or their stall or their shop, that didn't have a kind of website or kind of digital presence. You know, we were having to kind of go out and kind of suggest to them that, you know, you don't need to shut up shop. There is still ways that you can reach your customer and still operate. So it was, we kind of just changed from just listening to them to kind of like helping them, I guess, and maybe look at things differently and realize that, you know, that there were still things that they could do.
So it's like being some kind of corporate parent or a holder. You know, you were kind of the mentor, weren't you, for them, and helping to hold them up and keep their spirits, and it is. It's like showing them that there's. That's a really great thing to be able to do, actually. And because it kind of builds that trust, doesn't it? Because it makes people think, oh, I'm cared. You know, they care about me. They care about you know, my business. They care. You know, it kind of gives them that something that we need right now is to feel is to, you know, feel connected to other people and feel that we're being supported, because this is the time when people kind of feel that, you know, felt like there was no support there. So that's really great. It sounds like you've given them something.
Yeah, and it's been a two-way thing as well. You know, we've had some insight and some useful things back from them as well that you know, been able to either use personally or in the business. So it's been good. It's not just been a one-way thing. It's, you know, it's been a two-way conversation, which is
that's
really
lovely. Good. That's really great, isn't it? It's kind of, it's that reciprocal kind of thing that's going on, and helping each other grow. That's really great. That's good to hear. And for you, Craig, how's it impacted on your personal and family life? Have you said what's been happening there, if you don't mind sharing that?
So I've got a partner. We're engaged and hopefully going to get married on the 8th of November. So I guess that's kind of one kind of major thing that's been impacted, is whether that'll still go ahead, and how it will be able to go ahead. You know, it might not be, the event might still be able to go ahead, but what will the kind of rules and restrictions beyond that? We've got like 80 people invited. We don't know if we're going to have to drop that down in order to meet, you know, gatherings a specific size, whether the wedding will have to be outside. So that's kind of one of the main situations and the main kind of cause for concern at the moment. We're still trying to keep a relaxed approach to it. You know, at the moment, it looks like things should be in a good situation by November, hopefully. So we're trying not to stress out too much about it. You know, the situation is what it is. So it's just, you know, just seeing how things progress, and hopefully it goes in our favor, and that can go ahead with all the guests there and as kind of planned. So myself and my partner, we live in quite a small, it's a 1-bedroom flat. So that was a little bit of a challenge. We both started working from home. So we had to find a space to kind of set up 2 works computers, and then obviously try to coordinate our work, and, you know, calls like these that we both have, we had to kind of organize it so we weren't both on calls at the same time. So yeah, just, it could have been a challenge. You know, it's a small space, and not much opportunities to go out, apart from initially that kind of one allowance for exercise. But I think, like most things, once you kind of get used to a situation and a routine, it gets easier. So now, you know, we're quite comfortable, and luckily we've gotten through this, and we've not had any major falling out, which has been good. I think when we first went into lockdown, within the first hour, we did start a disagreement, I'll call it. But we did manage to kind of both realise the situation and thought, you know, if we can't get through the first hour of lockdown, you know, what chance have we got? And that kind of helped us stop the situation, kind of laugh about it. And then since then, it's been fine. But, you know, I know that's not the same for everyone. Everyone's kind of going through their own, you know, although we're in the same situation, our circumstances are different and how we're able to kind of cope with that. But for us, it's been fine from that point of view. Even being stuck in a small flat and having to work, I mean, that was difficult to begin with. Try to, you know, being in your flat or in your home and then try to get into that work mode was quite difficult. And then try to get out of that at the end of the night was equally as difficult. You could see yourself just kind of sitting there and continue to work. And it's like, you can't, you know, you need to find that balance and kind of be able to separate the two. But
yeah. Absolutely, and that I'm hearing that a lot, and it's like how we've managed to. That's been one of the big challenges, hasn't it? It's like how we've managed to find a boundary between home life and work life when it's all been in the same place, and that everything's been in the same place, and it's like how you know, I think that's would have been one of the biggest challenges, and it's great that you've managed to kind of negotiate that in the jiggly way that we do with relationships, you know. But it sounds like you've managed to work through that, because we're seeing a move towards it changing, so there's some relief at the end of it. We know that there's going to be changes, which really helps the situation. But also, well done for your, that must have been really stressful, having it, knowing that your wedding's coming up, and it takes a lot to organize a wedding, and then to have somebody say, sorry, but that's not going to happen. It's not going to happen that way. That's that's a strength to get through that. But so by November, we don't know, but have you had any word about how that's going to move forward for you in November?
Not yet. We've not heard. I guess the main thing we're waiting to hear from is the venue. We've booked things like the band and the catering and stuff, but I guess they're, the main thing hinges on the venue, whether that's going to allow it to go ahead. And then everything else should kind of, if the venue's fine to go ahead, everything else should kind of fit in place. So we've not had much contact with them. I think there's been a few, my partner's had a few emails from them, just kind of reassuring them. I think one was just saying, at the moment it looks, we're not going to cancel the wedding yet, but if it comes nearer the time, that they are willing to be flexible and maybe allow us to postpone it to early next year. So, there's a little bit of communication with them, and they are willing to work, with people that's gonna.
That's good. That's good. Well, I know that there's been so many disruptions with that, and it's been a test of trying to find other ways of doing things. But in this, that's interesting. Thinking about how we negotiate things moving forward, Craig. So I'm wondering for you, how what kind of benefits. Because I know we've talked about how it's created a different way of working with your clients, or just enhanced the way it's worked. And I'm just wondering, what other benefits has this brought into your life personally or work-wise?
I think personally, it just gives you a better appreciation for, just the small things, just the fact that you've got a roof over your head, you've got food, access to running water. It kind of makes you just appreciate that more, and stop looking so much outwards to what other people are doing and what they've got. Because the pandemic's shown, at the end of the day, that's all you really need is like somewhere safe to be, and as long as you've kind of got food and water, you're fine for the most part. Everything else is kind of extras, So it's just kind of given me that appreciation. It's also showed that myself and my partner can be together in such close proximity for a large amount of time and still get on. So I mean, that kind of bodes well for the future. I think just, a bit more time to slow things down. You've obviously not got the commute in the morning, so you've been able to relax a bit more in the morning and kind of ease yourself into the day. I've had a bit more time for learning new skills in the computer. I've kind of been doing a digital marketing course and stuff. So just that additional time and opportunity to do things that you maybe don't get to do when you're because life moves so fast most of the time. It's been an opportunity to kind of slow things down a little bit and just have that time to kind of think and assess things, which I think it's been good.
And I like how I think most of us are finding we're learning. We've got this space. Strangely enough, it's helped us find the space to do something or add something into our lives and learn something new, that we get so caught up in things every day, don't we? But this is really kind of opened up a whole new opportunity for, as I say, self-development for people, and given us a whole new understanding about how we want to live our lives moving forward, hasn't it? And I suppose the challenge now is being able to hold on to that, you know, being able to hold on to the things that we now would really like to happen as we move back into this situation.
So whether you're still going to have that time and opportunity to pursue that once we kind of get back to it, but I think things should still move a bit slower than it did, so hopefully people still have time to kind of keep doing those things or be able to work towards whatever situation they want to be in. So hopefully that's still there as we come out of this.
Yes, I think yes, I hope so too. And I suppose it's just something that we have to, I suppose if we want to have it, then we have to put that in place and make sure that we can keep that going for, you know, moving forward.
Yeah, we're the ones that are going to make it happen. So, you know, you've got to focus on what you really want and just make the time. Hopefully people will be able to do that. Yeah,
that's great. Thank you so much, Craig. That was really great.
That's good.
It was really great and really insightful, and it's lovely. Every interview that I have, they bring something. It's really, this is why, one of the reasons why I'm doing it is to see that so many different things and ways that people are, you know, they're experiencing. We all have similar things that we're experiencing, but the many different ways that people actually, you know, things that are coming up for people is so wonderful, and it helps us to feel connected and realize that we're all experiencing the same things, but we're you know, we can all help each other find ways of finding other ways to manage. So it's really great. And is there anything else that you would like to say or offer to anybody before we close the interview, Craig?
It was just, you know, with this extra time and, you know, being able to spend more time on social media, it's easy to get caught up in, you know, what other people are doing with this additional time, and you might feel a pressure to, you know, do some sort of self-development or learn something new. And I think it's important not to focus on that too much. The important thing is to make sure you're doing things that help you get through this. You know, not everyone's going to use this time to learn the guitar or whatever, but, you know, everyone copes differently. So it's just to kind of, you know, just you do you and let other people do what they're doing. You know, you can maybe take inspiration from that, but if you don't, you know, don't focus too much on what others are doing and what you're doing. It's just, we all get through this in different ways.
Absolutely. And that's something that's one of the things that I learned, Craig, was not to get to, because that's what happened to me, is I got so focused on what everybody else was doing and think I had to do more. I wasn't doing enough, and it just took me away from what was good for me. So I had to pull. So we have to be, you have to do you, and you know, because we're all different, we need to be able to, you know, be okay with who we are. Don't worry about anybody else. Don't put your pressure on yourself.
I think once you get in that space where you're comfortable with yourself and what you're doing, that can then help develop things in future. You know, it's getting to that space first, so you're not being distracted and concerned about other things. It's getting to that space where you're comfortable, you're starting to feel that you're coping with the situation, and then, you know, then you can start looking at other things that you can do.
Perfect. Great. Thank you so much, Craig. That was really great. And I'm going to be doing another interview, possibly one, I might do two more, but one more I'm doing on Monday.
Okay.
And it's going to be with Tess Day from
excellent.
From my
Tess,
she's going to be in the other side of the mic rather than interview people.
The role reversal.
That's going to be interesting.
That'll be a really good one.
Okay, Craig, thank you so much and have a lovely day.
You too.
Okay.
Thank
Bye.
you. Thanks.
Bye.
Bye.